welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is a Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Continuing on with Washington Wine Month, except we're going to give it a little twist this time. We are going to compare a Washington cab to a California cab to an Australian cab and see how they turn out. Now, I was going to do this blind, but one of them is a screw cap. The other two aren't, so, that'd be tough to do. Even though, I could probably have thrown a few other cabs in there and had Susie kind of put them, bag them. I just didn't have that resource at my fingertips at the time of preparing for this episode. So there you go. We're just going to look at them. We're going to analyze them. I'm going to grade them, and we're going to see where they stand. And we're going to start off with the 2011, so this is an older vintage, Juniper Estate Cabernet Sauvignon from Margaret River, which is a very quality growing region in southern Australia. And I think they give you a little map. I'm not sure if this map works very well, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Margaret River, great place where they produce a lot of great wines, including Shiraz, which of course Australia is famous for. This rolls in at $31. Now, the cool thing about it is you often do not think of buying cab from Australia in the $30+ range. But I went on a little campaign a couple of years ago just trying to bring awareness to Australian wines, because it's really sad. I mean, I went from a 12 feet of shelf space down to less than 4. That's how wine sales have gone for Australian wines. It's crazy. It's crazy. People used to just clamor for them. Can you remember layer cake? I mean, even now, layer cake is out there. But layer cake Shiraz, if you could even get it, I would put it on a stack, and I think it was like $19.99 a bottle, and it just flew out. It was gone, and then you couldn't get it again. It's crazy. And now you can hardly give away Australian wines, except for the, of course, Yellowtails and Jacobs Creek and Lindemans. They still sell very well, but this now you start getting up in the $32 range, $31 range for a Margaret River cab from Australia. It's a tough sell. It really is. It really is. Let's see what we get on the nose. Almost like a stewed plum, like you had you were boiling stewed plum. You were doing plums and currants together. That's what I get on the nose. There's just a tiny hit of eucalyptus coming through. Maybe just a splash of tobacco. Let's see what we get on the palate. Now, it does have a lot of fruit. I'll give it that. Loads of currants, a little white pepper notes underneath. Good structure, good acidity, good balance. Just lots of fruit. I'm curious what the alcohol content is on this one. 14%. There it is right there. Thank God everybody says he saw it right away. Sometimes I look too long. Nice tobacco hit on the mid-palate. Grippy tannins on the finish. A little bit fresh. This is a good cab. I mean, I've tasted Napa Valley cabs that have just as much fruit and demand $50 to $70. This is nice. It has nice freshness on the finish, which I like a lot. Makes it a good food wine. This, a lot of people, this is like an 11 in the delicious category. Starts out kind of big fruit, but it's held in check by the fresh acidity, the good tannins, the nice integration of everything. It's a well-made cab, very well-made cab. Decent color, good color. You almost can't see through it. I just like it. I like the fresh finish. It's a solid, good complexity, nice structured tannins, but very approachable. Yeah, I have to go B plus A minus on that. Solid effort. And the only thing I have to say about this, and it really is kind of sad, that a lot of people wouldn't even look twice at a cab from Margaret River, Australia, for 31 bucks. But you're missing out. I mean, you really are. If you want to go over to Washington or California and spend that kind of money, thinking that you're going to get better than this, I think you're missing out. Just saying. Now we're going to move on to the 2016. You know, and just another point on this one before I get into the other one. It's 2011, okay? Part of that has to be sales. They're just having trouble selling it. 2016, the Hess selection. Alomi, Cabernet Sauvignon, here we go, Napa Valley. This rolls in at $27. I don't know if you remember, but I reviewed the Hess Select Malbec, and I didn't give it the best grade, even though in my gut, I knew it was going to open up, and the next day it just was beautiful. So, you know, I need to trust my instincts. I've been doing this a while. You can tell. You can tell the wine is going to open up. Let's see what we get on the nose. These have all been open for a few hours, but, you know, it's just in the bottle. So we're talking about Napa Valley Cabs. It's 27 bucks, so it's $4 less than the other one. A little bit challenged on the nose. I am getting kind of a current action. A little bit of bark, a little bit of tobacco. Yeah. Let's see what we get on the palate. 27 bucks from Napa Valley. Now that's actually a reasonably priced wine from Napa. Exactly what I was talking about. This is big currants. I mean, big currants. Ripe currants. With a little bit of an interesting kind of orange peel component kind of lying underneath. Soft tannins. They're structured, but they're very soft. I don't get a grip at all on the backside. That currant action just goes front to finish. I mean, it is this is also an 11 in the delicious category. Let's see if I can find the alcohol on this. Sometimes they hide it so cleverly sometimes. Okay, there it is. %. Excuse me, I'll be right back. I'm just going to get some more light here. Okay guys, I'm looking in the light. It looks like 14 something. It's so tiny. It's 14 plus alcohol. Let's just say that. Okay, 14 plus alcohol. Like the shirt Trey Bush did, the Sleight of Hand Cellars. Shout out to Trey Bush, cool guy. Great wines. One of the best Washington State Chardonnays. I might review that, by the way, this month. Okay, a little tannic grip on the backside, but this is just about ripe currants. I mean, that's all it's about. Tight grip on the finish. It's good integration. I mean, it's not over the top. It's not flabby. It's just delicious. Good structure. I will say that it has good structure. A lot of you will like this wine because of that fruit, but and that underlying orange peel component coming through, with just a little splash of tobacco. Yeah. A little minty aspect at the end. I would put the Australian Cab ahead of this one just because of the freshness on the finish. Did I go A- on that? I'm going to go B+ on this one. I think for 27 bucks, a Napa Valley Cab, it's good, it's delicious, it's got good balance, there's nothing wrong with it, it's not out of proportion fruit, but I don't know, it's just a little too much fruit for me for a Cabernet Sauvignon, just a tiny bit of grip on the end, but it's still a B+ wine. Yeah, let's go there. Now, the 2015 Amavi Cellars Cabernet Sauvignon, Walla Walla Valley. This rolls in at $28. Rents here. Now, Walla Walla Valley, now we're into Washington State wines, one of the premier wine growing regions of Washington State. That and Red Mountain, both very good appellations in Washington State. Although it's also part of the larger Columbia Valley appellation. Let's see what we get on the nose. This has a very floral component, red flowers, tobacco, slight currant notes. They don't jump out at you. A little bit of a tar component coming through. This is also, I'm not big on alcohol, but this is 14.5, so probably close to the Hess. Couldn't quite read the Hess. At least they put a bigger on there. A little bit of a caramel element coming through too. Let's see what we get on the palate. This also has a lot of currant notes, but they're not quite as ripe as a Hess. They're a little more in balance, a little more in check. They have a nice tobacco quality that lies underneath it, kind of keeps them. It's framed with tobacco, so it's kind of a currant wrapped with tobacco leaf sort of thing. A little bit of tar action coming underneath. Again, still get that caramel kind of flavor that comes through a little bit. This also has an interesting orange peel component that just kind of sneaks through, kind of hides in there and comes up. Orange peel, orange peel, orange peel. Tannic grip on the backside, a little bit of leather coming through. This is top dollar stuff. I mean, 28 bucks. Really giving some competition to the Australia. I'm kind of between the Australian and the Walla Walla Valley Cab. I mean, 3 more bucks, more freshness, but yet the Walla Walla version, good structure, definitely delicious. Toss up. I'm going to go A- on the Amavi. I think it's getting a little bit of an edge. I'm not being prejudiced. I just stated them side by side. Really, really close. The only difference being the price, a little bit more on the Australian. But guys, it's good. It's delicious. If you don't want to think about your cab, you just want to enjoy a really delicious port-like cab, go with the Hess. Don't need it's not port-like, but you know what I mean. More fruit. But these definitely. I think I'll give Washington, not because I live here, just because it is a little bit of a hedge, a little bit of an edge, not a hedge, an edge, not a hedge, an edge, on both of these cabs. B+, A-, A-. Yeah, it's tiny, tiny, tiny. Australia showed up well. Really like it. Hook up with me on Twitter. Thanks, by the way, thanks for taking a little bit of time out of your day. Hook up on me on Twitter. Sorry about the long episode with the 4 Cab Francs, but you know, I had to do it. And by the way, the view time on that was awesome. Hook up with me on Twitter, Stan the Wine Man, Instagram, Stan the Wine Man. Please, 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 please subscribe to my channel. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.